to the define phase. So you've probably been doing a lot of your research homework, and you're gathering a whole bunch of evidence and data points that you now need to begin processing. Remember that we went through what was referred to as a divergent stage, which really was, if we looked at our double diamond, this is the route that we followed, and this was the discover phase. What we're doing now in the define phase is we're coming into what we call a convergent mindset. So discover was divergent and define is convergent. So what this means is that based upon all of the information that we've collected, we want to try and get to a point where we can actually look at is the problem we want to focus on. That's the how might we question that we want to begin to process. Now, as I introduced the other stages, we had a variety of different quadrants that we worked with. If you recall, we spoke about the mindset, we spoke about the knowledge set, the skill set, and the tool set that we needed to work with. So right up here now, you can see we have what's referred to as the mindset, the knowledge set, the skill set, and the tool set. So each phase we go through, we're going to be drilling down and applying different capability sets per stage that we work with. So specifically up here in the mindset stage, this is very much what we refer to as a convergent mindset, which we've already spoken about. And in this one, we're going to be doing a whole bunch of unpacking. Right, so this is all about, it wasn't the exploration, it wasn't divergent, it's all about unpacking information, it's all about coming together, it's all about generating insights. All right, then the next side of things is the knowledge set, and this is what we refer to as the synthesis. And this is really trying to find meaning. All right, so based upon the knowledge that we already have, what sort of meaning can we extract from the insights that we've managed to discover during the discovery phase? Okay. And then finally, we also have we have the skill set space, and this is all about, well, your techniques around processing evidence, generating insights, preparing for ideation, all of those things. So this is about evidence collection and processing, rather say not collection, just processing. And what we're going to be doing now during the define phase is just going through a series of tool sets and methods and techniques. And, I'm going to be introducing you to things like A, E, I, O, U. We're going to be doing affinity analysis. We're going to be looking at how to create insights. I'm going to be introducing you to things like the business motivation model, design principles, heuristics, those types of things. So this is the mindset we now come to, or the capability set we come to with the definition phase. So remember, there's lots of information we have to work through, so we're going to try and narrow that down now to a particular point. Basically, through the whole discovery process, we have collected what we refer to as a whole bunch of evidence. And depending upon the scale of the challenge that you're faced with, this could be anything from 2 days to 2 months in which you would try and extract this information. Just call out here in particular in that what we often see is that a lot of information returns, it tends to be secondary research or desktop research, strategic analysis type research. And that's at least 3/4 more information there than the actual ethnographic studies. So let me just emphasize once again that the true value of design is really in you getting the information and the evidence from the behaviors of your customers and your users and your employees. The other stuff's also good and it can help shape it, but you need both in order to deliver a solution to your customers. All right, so from this evidence, we can extract a whole bunch of data points. And we're going to elaborate a little more on each of these. Okay. And from the evidence and data points, that's going to help us pull out what we refer to as insights. Okay. And these insights are going to help us describe or identify what we think the problem might actually look like. And then off the back of that, we're going to use the problem and we're going to create a how might we question, right? How might we make life better for citizens as they're applying for social services, okay? How might we make the travel experience on trains more exciting for passengers? So these are the types of things that we want to work with, but we must first have truly understood the nature of the problem and base that on the insights that we've extracted from actual evidence. So this is the point, is that yes, there is an abstract nature to design, but also you have got this interconnectivity that occurs. Okay. Now, in line with this problem and how might we question, as well as the insights, what we actually want to do is we want to say, all right, well, what are the guiding principles? All right, we call them design principles that are going to be used to frame the how might we question. All right, so what we're going to actually look for here are design principles. Okay, and we're going to also look for what we refer to as design heuristics. I'll explain all of these to you later, but just to give you the top level picture, that's what we're actually looking for. So eventually we can come back and we can test against these. So each step forward we build on information that we would have gathered in the initial phases. So way back here in the discovery phase, you would have got some assumptions. And what we now have is we've tested some assumptions, we now have design principles. And when we start to get into the develop and deliver phases, we test against these. We test against the design principles. If we're successful, well, then we move on to launch. All right. If we're not and we're failing, either the design principles are correct, well, that means we must go back and test our original assumptions of why we actually went into this investigation and this discovery process in the first place. So I'll keep reinforcing that at each stage, but that's really just a context diagram for what we're going into now within the define phase. See you soon.